Good morning, beautiful light of this world, beautiful souls, beautiful beings of tranquility, and just an honesty within yourself that you get to know yourself every single breath, every single moment you remember love. You get to know yourself a little more and a little better. And it goes for this group too, Tara and Narayan. And Lynn Adams, good to have you here, Lynn, Lisa and Jim, and Marty May. So great to have you here. No, honestly, something's building. I know you have a sense that things are shifting, changing, whether it's for good or for not good. We don't need to figure that one out. All we got to need to know is that every time we come together, there is a surge. There is a like the gates, the floodgates open up, the floodgates to divine presence opens up every time we come together. So it's so beautiful. There's other groups. We have my wife's Trisha's sisters here and her husband staying with us for about a month, and and she has her little tribe that she listens to every morning as well. There's a lot of nice tribes, my dears, that are just huddling together like we are. I think that's so beautiful, kind of candlestick get together, kind of where no one needs to know about it, but it's there. So anyway, today we get to get a refresher in the sense of what the real phoenix, the rise of the phoenix from the ashes. Well, we're going to learn about that today in maybe a whole new perspective. And I think it's very relatable to today's climate and time. So thank you again for being here, my dears. It really makes it like super, super powerful and super beautiful. So let's begin. This is called The Phoenix Remembers Herself. Rising from the ashes through soul alchemy and self-love. Wow. Rising from the ashes through soul alchemy. That means you just remember that you're this beautiful being, like I'm sharing with you right now, and always will share with you like that. If nothing else, this little group, if we just kept on unconditionally loving each other, I promise you it'd be the best incarnation we've ever had. So it's so cool. But anyway, let's listen to who we really are, who we are really becoming in this stream, rising from the ashes through soul alchemy and self love. I just think this is the coolest thing. Of course, that's just me. I get super excited about almost anything that's good for the soul and good for the heart and brings us back into love. That's it. You show me that, you bring that, you are that, I'm in. I'm in. And that's an in for, unconditional friendship, unconditional love. That's what we're about. So this stream, once again, it's called when the phoenix remembers herself. When the phoenix remembers herself. Lori's on. Yay! Yay! We just can't stay away from that which brings us closer to love and a connection and collective love at that, As we love the world. As we feel connected and when we feel like there's just this feeling of brotherhood and sisterhood and unity in this little rainbow tribe of ours, oh, gee, everybody on the planet gets a hit, a really good hit just from us being here right now. And this is, I think, very, very apropos for today, for our brothers and sisters, and for us. When the phoenix remembers herself, guess what? When she remembers, Marty, when you remember, Lisa, Jim, not saying that you're not remembering, but when you really remember the ashes that we think that we've gone through a tough time, they become wings. When we really remember that we already have wings, that we are angels in drag, that we are divine protocols or proteges of the divine presence. I don't know where that word came from, but I mean, I don't even know if it made sense. Proteges of the divine presence. Yeah. So our ashes become wings, right? They talk they talk about reinvention like it is a costume change. You know, people talk about change and I'm going to do this and I'm going to then be on a diet and then this and that. They talk about reinvention like it's a costume change. I'll just, do that for a while and everything's going to turn out better and brighter and who knows what. They talk about reinvention like it's a costume change, like it is a new hairstyle or a new era or a new name or a new version of yourself walking out onto the stage. But real invention, my dears, reinvention, but real reinvention. Don't you think that this lifetime you grew up a little baby and then you had your grade school little friends and you had your high school friends and you had maybe college friends and if you went on and got some, was a nurse or whatever else that you did, each of these was like you know, a lifestyle change or just a change of a costume. So is it really real reinvention? All those little phases that we've gone through already. But now it says, but what's real reinvention? What's real invention? Reinvention and real soul alchemy. Let's hear what this guy has to say about this. He says, try rebuilding yourself. Just try rebuilding yourself, and you probably have many, many times. Try rebuilding yourself after life poisoned the well that you were drinking from. Yeah, try rebuilding yourself after life poisoned the well you were drinking from. And you're just about ready to feel like I'd rather be dead than going through this, right? Try rebuilding yourself after life poisoned the well you were drinking from. Try this, my dears. Try rising after your spirit was shattered so many times, you can't even count them. Try rising after your spirit was shattered so many times you no longer knew which piece still belonged to you after you were shattered so many times. I think every human being goes through this. This is a stream for every human being that's in a human suit, in a human costume, in a human duality dream delusion right now. Try rising after your spirit was shattered so many times you no longer knew which piece belonged to you. Try this. Try breathing inside a body that felt interrupted by pain. And I know we all have those pains. Try rising after your spirit was shattered so many times. Oh, those are the pieces. Try breathing inside a body that felt interrupted by pain. We all have plenty of opportunities for this. Try, excuse me, try walking with broken bones, a fractured mind, a bruised heart, and still hearing some ancient voice inside you whisper, not yet. You are not done. When you hear a little voice like that, my dears, you recognize that that is the phoenix within me. That is the rising from the ashes. That is the phoenix, not the pretty bird in mythology, but the real one. The real phoenix, my dears. You are the real. You are the real deal, I might say. Marty May, that's a nice earring, I think. See, Marty, yeah, if you're doing that. And so not the pretty bird in mythology, but the real one. The one who, here's the authentic us, the one who burns privately. The one who burns privately, Lori and Orion and Tara. The one who dies quietly. The one who loses everything except the one breath that refuses to leave. That we lose everything except the one breath that refuses to leave us, that one breath. And sometimes that one breath is the whole miracle. Just that one breath. You know, we might be really at our wits' end, they say. And then all of a sudden we come back and we have another breath. And that breath changes everything. It's a miracle in itself. And sometimes that one breath is the whole miracle, right? That is all I had some days, this guy says. This is John Roma. That's all I had some days, is that one breath. That's it. Do you feel that way? With the times the way they are right now, I bet a bunch of people, including ourselves, feel that way, if we want to admit it. And we don't even know if we're going to be able to take the next breath, if we have the energy to take the next breath, right? So Marty, fix your camera. I think I got my volume up and everybody's hearing this. Anyway, that's all I had some days. I didn't have a plan. I had no strength. I had no certainty. I had no motivation. Does that sound common to any of you, my dears? Not a plan, no strength, no certainty, no motivation. I think we've all been there. And somehow through the smoke, my heart opened again. And somehow through the smoke screen, my dears, you just talking smoke. That somehow through the smoke, my heart opened again, like a lotus blooming out of the darkest mud. We have a little pond and we have two lotuses that are budding right now. And it's decent water. It's clear. You can see through to the bottom and everything. But it's like that lotus buds that we have in our pond. Yeah. So, Marty, if you're hearing me, just see if you can put your audio or your video on in the correct formation. All right. If you're hearing me right now. Yeah. So, like a lotus, my dears, blooming out of the darkest mud, like God placed a candle inside my ribs. This is good, Lori. This is good. Like God placed a candle inside my ribs and said, let them think that the fire destroyed you, O Phoenix. Let them think that the fire destroyed you. I know it made you holy, says that inner voice. I know it made you holy. Let them think that the fire destroyed you. But I know it made you holy. My spirit kept blooming in hell. My spirit keeps blooming in hell. Hell or high water, right? Surrounded by flames, surrounded by endings, surrounded by everything that was supposed to make me bitter, small, afraid, and hard. But somehow I became softer. I became softer. There we go, Marty. There you are. Instead of, burning up to ashes once again and feeling like there's no way out of this mess, that we somehow became softer. We somehow didn't burn. We're softer like water that can carve stone, softer like love that refuses to become the wound. Do you know that love is the path? Love is the path. You might find all these reasons to have a loving attitude, to have a loving presence, to have a loving spirit, have a loving heart. You might feel, wow, have all these reasons, but really it's a path that we walk. So this is perfect for that. Softer like love that refuses to become the wound. And we still walk this earth. And we still walk. And we open our minds and hearts to God's help today and Divine Mother's grace today. We still do that because softer like love that refuses to become the wound, my dears. And that is when I understood the deepest pain was not sent to destroy me. It came as a furnace, as a furnace. It came as a furnace. It came to burn away the false skin, the falsehoods that we live in as an duality dream delusion, which is the pleasing, the begging, the shrinking, the versions of me that survive by abandoning myself, right? The fire did not take my soul, though. The fire can never take your soul. Your soul can't ever burn. Your can't your soul cannot be disillusioned, my dears. It cannot be falsified. It is the true, real deal you. And that's the beauty of soul alchemy when we just realize, oh my God, there's everything beautiful about me. And I have just a universe full of help. I have a universe full of Divine Mother's love. I have a universe of the Christ consciousness. I have I have all everything that I could ever possibly need, even while I'm in pain, even while I'm going through times of dark nights of the soul, even when my body aches and the pain just doesn't seem to go away. All those things, all those things. The fire has never and can never take our souls, my dears. It burns. It burns a light that will be so beautiful that you'll never be able to take off your eyes off of it once you recognize that light that inside you like a candle burns bright no matter what emotions, what physicality that and things like that, or what upsets fall into your path. Remember, it's a path of love. It's a path of love. We just take the soul love and love whatever is in our way on the path. It is the path. We walk with love. I have a couple streams that we'll share tomorrow, maybe. So the fire will never take our soul. In fact, the fire returned to me after I had broken down in all those ways that we shared already. It returned to me. It was forged. My soul became forged through flame and a steel rib cage and an open heart and a no fear. It's like, let's just go for it. That's what this feels like to me. Let's just, whatever this means to you, my dear, it's going to be different for all of us, but just go for it today. Go for it. Whether it's an emotional thing, whether it's a connection to the divine, or whether it's just a taking care of yourself, self-love, self-loving yourself, just go for it. That's what this feels like, this stream. We should call it just go for it. So we're forged through flame, and that includes a steel rib cage, an open heart, and no fear. And we're cracked. And we're cracked. We have cracks. Did you know that? We have cracks, but they're glowing. They're glowing. They're still standing. Our cracks. In fact, every heartbreak became scripture for us. Every heartbreak became a scripture for us. Our own holy connection to the divine scripture, as it just made us happy. It just made us just rest. It made us just relax and let go. Let this thing unfold the way it's meant to unfold. Take really beautiful, loving care of yourself, like you're in a care facility, a loving care facility that your soul has built especially for you. Yeah. And that you go there for refuge, you go there for reboot, you go there for renewal of your energies, you go there for, getting your well, where you get you get your back cracked. You get your back readjusted, right? And you get help, and you get all these beautiful things, all these supporters in your life come. So every heartbreak became a scripture. Every scar became a proof. So you carry your scars as just a reminder of what and how you've dealt with life, how you've dealt with this whole thing of the reinvention of you into a higher state, a higher consciousness, a higher reality. It's just a new way that becomes really the only way, the path of love, my dears, the path of self-love, the path of then loving our brothers and sisters, a path of empathy, really, quite frankly, is what we're talking about. So the cracks became the most sacred part. Or it says, no, it says here, every scar became proof. Every collapse became initiation. This is the real phoenix rising from the ashes. Every collapse became an initiation, just getting initiated by God. Another thing to feel like we just graduated, we just went a level just a little bit higher than the one we were in, however that works. And the cracks became or become the most sacred part, the cracks. You probably can feel right now that where we're going with this, or where he's going with this, is that's how the light comes in. That's how we heal the wounds. Comes in through where we have the cracks. That's when the light comes. So, the cracks become the most sacred part, because that is where the light enters. I think Rumi has a quote. Yeah, that's where the light enters when we have cracks, my dears. That is where that is where it broke through. The light broke through in the cracks. And that is where it poured into the deepest corners. The light poured into the deepest corners where the light entered and where it broke through because of my wounds, because of my whatever, dysfunctionality, whatever. The light poured into those cracks, those wounds, those weaknesses, poured into the deepest corners of my consciousness and showed me that I was never just surviving. I was never just surviving. Tara, Ryan, Lynn, Lori, Lisa, Jim, Marty. We were never just surviving. Even now, we might feel like we're just surviving. I let the phoenix fly. We were never just surviving. We are becoming. We are becoming. So what do we do, my dears? Do we just remain ashes, thinking that there's nothing that we can do to change things now? No, because we let the phoenix fly out of the ashes. We let the phoenix fly free. We let our spirits fly free. That's why I'm saying just go for it. Just go for it. You don't have to know what that means right now. But today is a day to just go for it. It'd be interesting to share our notes about this, with the day that you're going to have today, my dears, after hearing and having digested and having received this little stream this morning, and you're letting the phoenix fly out of the ashes. And this man, John Roma, says, I let the woman I used to be, I let the woman or man I used to be become smoke. Or I let the woman or man I was afraid to become rise with fire in his and her lungs and love in her hands. I let the woman I was afraid to become rise with fire in her lungs. Go for it, with fire in her lungs and love in her hands. This is what rebirth looks like. It's not perfect. It's not polished. It's not untouched. It's alive. It's alive, my dears. And it's what living looks like. It's alive. This rebirth, this ability not to be afraid to become to become who you really are, this perfect divine being, the phoenix that has never had to survive, it never has been just ashes, but it rises with fire now in her, in his lungs, and love in his and her hands. This is what rebirth looks like. It's not perfect. It's not polished. It's not untouched. It's alive. It's alive. We have a day to be alive today, my dears. All things, all things go according to divine plan, whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like, whatever that the destiny of our karma and our, God's plan for our lives. So this is what living looks like. Being shattered, being shattered, and still choosing love. Path of love. We'll get that tomorrow, maybe. We'll get that one tomorrow. That stream tomorrow, called the Path of Love. This is this is the path of love is being shattered and still choosing love. We can always choose love, Narayan G, Tara, Lori, Lisa, Marty. Who else is on? Who's this? Yeah. So being shattered and we're still choosing love. But there's more good news what we're becoming, this rise, this pure, this true phoenix, that quality of the soul that just can never die, never gives up, never loses hope, never loses faith, never loses trust. This is what living looks like, being shattered and still choosing love, being burned. Being burned. You know how we used to say, God, I just got burned, by somebody, or I burned somebody, right? Weren't true to myself or whatever the situation, but we've all had those feelings where we say, oh, I just got burned. And yet we as the phoenix risen, as the phoenix risen, it's not rising, it's risen. Even then, if we're burned, we still become light. We still become light, even when we're burned, my dears. And being buried and we're still blooming. We're still blooming and we're being buried, just overwhelmed by life, overwhelmed by a tragedy, overwhelmed by what just happened. We're still blooming, right? This is just a little initiation for all of us today, that we're unstoppables. We're unstoppables. Or being told life should have ended you. What if someone's, comes up with that phrase, that life should have ended you? And instead, we're standing in the middle of our own ashes saying, and we're right in the middle of our own ashes saying, and someone saying, life should have ended you. Maybe it wasn't the best conversation that person had in that situation, but being told life should have ended you, and we are standing. We're standing, Lori, in the middle of our own ashes saying, I remember who I am. I remember I'm God walking, God breathing, God loving, God sharing my light with the world. All those beautiful things. I remember all these beautiful things. And I remember that I was never broken. I was never only this body. I remember that I was never only this body or never broken. I was never born. I was never born from the ashes, my dears. I was born of the light. We all were. And of the presence. We all were. We are all in the same boat. This is why empathy is the number one quality we could possess right now in today's world, is empathy. is empathy. It's what the world needs now. Not just love, sweet love, of course that, but love in its greatest form is empathy for everything and everyone. So that's something to hold into your heart of hearts today. You were never broken. You were never only this body. You were never only this story, the story of your life. You never were just that. You were never born from the ashes. But I am the flame that survived them. I am the flame that I am that survived them and survives everything. And to the point that I'm just thriving, 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 thriving. Banat, banat, banjai. Striving, striving, one day the divine goal. I am the flame that survived everything. I am immortal in the only way that matters. I am immortal in the only way that matters. I am love. I am love. This is a soul remembering where we're at right now in this stream. Just a soul remembering. I am love. I am love. I am light. I am light. I am the eternal fire remembering itself. I am the eternal fire remembering itself. And this time, Tara, Ryan, Lynn, Lori, Lisa, Jen, Marty, and this time, I am not rising to prove anything. I don't have to prove anything because I am, and I'm all that I am. So I'm the eternal fire remembering itself. And this time I'm not rising to prove anything. I am rising because it's my true nature to rise and be a divine being, having a divine experience in the short season of this life. And whatever days, how many that I have left in me, and you too. So this ends, this was from Amelia. So this wasn't John Roma. This was Amelia. Sing a new song. He gave herself a last name called Sing a New Song. Amelia, sing a new song, whispering the soul awake. I am rising because it's my nature. So with love for those remembering themselves, thank you for saying yes to life, Marty, Lori, Lynn, Ryan, Tara. Thank you so much for coming on the stream this morning. Put your wings on, dears. We are walking and flying each other home. All right. So there it is. That's our little taster for today's, day in a life in a day. Special because you all came online. Special because we are awake and ready as best as we can for a complete, new understanding of living, the new awakening. A great awakening, says Yogananda, is knocking at my door. A great awakening is knocking at my door. Lord, grant me the strength to welcome the dawn. Grant me the strength to welcome the dawn. Over the ashes of many desires. Over the ashes of many desires. A great awakening, my dears. Have a lovely day. I'm going to do, the ending part here. You can stay. You can enjoy your risen, not rising. You're risen. You're flying, right? Go for it, right? Let's chant an Om. Those who want to chant an Om, inhale the breath. Thank you, everyone, for participating and helping the world and enlightening the world. Thank you for helping everything. Just your presence alone, your presence alone. Let's chant it out for all our brothers and sisters. Oh. Beautiful soul bird, fly, fly, as Rumi said. Hint, the cage door of the cage that you're in is open. Fly, soul bird. All right. So you want to make sure your love tank is filled to the gills. Your love tank, your love vision, seeing all with such empathy. Our world with such empathy. Oh my goodness sakes. All right. We love and we care. Yeah, so important these days. That's what circumstances and the way the situation is right now. It's provoking, it's inviting, it's in helping us realize that only love and only empathy and respect and all these beautiful things, these things that we take for granted, come to real life, all right, within us. So we shine. That's why we shine. That's why we just shine it, shine it, shine it. There's no like picking out who you're going to shine on. You're just shining it. You're just shining it, shining it, shining it. So great to have you here, Lynn and Marty and Tara, Lisa, Jim, Lori, Marty. Thank you so much for coming on the line. I just for the heck of it, I'll just put my audio on just in case. Oh, I guess it was on. Wait, or volume now. Up, up, up. Okay. Anybody have any kind of you know, add on to our little stream this morning? Are we good, Marty? Nice. Tara, we're good?
Yes, thank you. That one hit home as always, but really hit home. So, there's so many struggles in life, and we just keep coming back with more love.
Right,
And
right.
I love that you said love is the way.
Yeah, it's the path. It's the
Love is
path.
the path.
Love is the path. Every little footstep you make, every little breath you breathe is saying the same thing. Yeah. Love and then more love. Lynn, you doing all right in this thing called life? Good. Nice. Great to see you. Every time you come on, you bring more light. So thanks. We appreciate it very much. And Marty May, good to go. I think you are. And Tara, you already mentioned that you're good to go. Just got what you needed. All right. Have a beautiful day, my dears. I will too, and we'll share our notes tomorrow. Okay. We'll show our notes. These are love notes, like on a if you know music, there's notes on a music script, right? Of each of our experiences of awakening. Yeah, and rising. All right. Love you all. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. I
Thank,
will too. We are
thank you.
we are one. You're welcome, Tara. Aho and
Blessed day.
namaste. And so be it.